Welcome to the Village of Lake Bluff Architectural Board of Review, May 4th, 2021. Now, go ahead and do the roll call, Mike.
Okay. Member Dahlman.
Here.
Member Callahan.
Here.
Member Dittmer.
Here.
Member Kerouac.
Here.
And Chair Hunter.
Here.
And members Waymeyer and Deegan are not here.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I go on, the reason that and Deegan is not here is he has resigned from the commission, and I just want to acknowledge his time there. He was a valuable asset. He was on the commission since 2009, and Ed was always brought a lot of good things to bear. So he is forced to resign. Well, he's not forced to resign. He resigned for personal reasons, and we wish him all the best. So now, let's go on and do the minutes of April 8th. Any kind of comments or discussion on any parts of those?
Before we do, I'd like to comment on Ed. He was a fine fellow member of the commission, and I think we'll miss him. As far as the minutes are concerned, I read them and recommend I move that they be approved as submitted.
I second.
Any discussion? If not, then roll call, Mike.
Okay. Member Dittmer.
Here.
Member Callahan.
Aye.
Member Kerouac.
Aye.
Member Dahlman.
Oh.
Aye.
And
I thought you had picked up the roll call. Sorry.
no problem. I assume you meant aye, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, motion passes 5-0.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the, well, let's see, wrong thing. Okay, is there anybody, Mike, that you know of that would like to speak to something that's not on the agenda in the public realm?
You know, we could just say if anyone does want to speak on something that's not on the agenda, they could press the raise their hand button. And just to be sure, I think everyone out there is here for an agenda item, and I don't see anyone pressing the raise their hand button. So it appears to be true that everyone is here for an agenda item.
Okay. All right, then the first item of business is the let's see, where'd it go? Oh, sign permit application for Suzy, Swirl, and Donati's Pizza.
Actually, Bob, Lindemann Chimney at 86 Albrecht Drive, dumpster enclosure is the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So this is a public hearing to review alterations to the site plan for dumpster enclosure at Lindemann Chimney at 86 Albrecht Drive. And there is somebody there to represent Lindemann?
Yes, Brett Lasik is here.
Hey guys, thanks for having me again.
So you've moved your building.
What's that?
So you've moved your building.
Yeah, we moved right next door. I'm looking at the old.
Yeah. Okay, so any comments on the with the information we have, board members?
How many dumpsters will be inside the closure?
There's gonna be two.
Two. And do they usually get full so that they overflow?
We have them come 7 days a week now. So during our busiest time of year, they might get pretty close, but this is also an effort to try to reduce things falling over the edge and blowing away.
Okay.
I noticed that I was out there today, and I noticed on the plan that it doesn't have a door in the front of it, and I think that's appropriate because as I was there, I was probably there for 5 minutes, and there were 4 different vehicles, all Lindemann vehicles, by the way, that pulled up and had something to put in one of the dumpsters. And if they had doors on there, it would really have been difficult for them to use them. So I don't object to that. One thing I do wonder is that there are 2 dumpsters, there are 2 blue containers, I don't know what's in them, and there's some other stuff that's there. I don't know that it would all fit in the enclosure that's going to be built. There's something real long that almost looks like a carpet that's rolled up. And I just wonder whether you think that the enclosure is going to be long enough to contain most of the stuff that you have out there most of the year.
Sure. So the enclosures are just for the 2 dumpsters. Those 2 blue containers that you saw were for the drop cloths that our technicians use. So we do have a service that comes every day that has to load those. The intention for those is to be put on the side of the dumpster because they still need to be rolled in and out. Those long tube containers you had seen, I don't know why they left those outside, but that's for shipping. When they ship those large stainless steel liners, that's a packaging that something was shipped to us. They were trying to repurpose it to use it to send something back out. So it's not something that would just be permanently hanging out outside or thrown in the dumpster.
And those kind of packaging things are very difficult to, if you did want to get rid of them, they're pretty hard to cut up and fit into a dumpster.
You pretty much have to cut it like we do a liner with the Sawzall.
Yeah.
They like to use them because it prevents damage in shipment.
Those are my only comments, Bob.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I don't have any comments. I think it's cited correctly, and I agree with typically we want doors on those, but I think for the practicality of how it's being used, I agree with not having the 4th side enclosed with gates.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the doors too, but now that you have discussed it, I'm in agreement with it, not having doors.
Cherie?
I have no more comments. I've had my question answered, so.
Okay, so would somebody like to make a motion to move this on?
I move to approve the, are we approving or are we recommending? I'm sorry.
Recommending.
Okay, I move that we recommend the submitted dumpster for Lindemann chimney at 86 Albrecht Drive as submitted.
Second it.
Okay, Mike?
Okay. Member Dittmer.
Aye.
Member Dalman.
Aye.
Member Callahan.
Aye.
Member Kerouac.
Aye.
And Chair Hunter.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay, so now we go to Suzy Swirl. Consideration of sign permit application for Suzy Swirl and Donati's Pizza at 205 South Waukegan Road. For those of you who don't know, they have joined forces somehow in the same space, which is great. So, is there anybody there, Mike, to?
Yep, I think there are 2 people, Jeff Urso and Kathleen Wood. I just promoted them to panelists. So go ahead and tell us about your proposal.
Yes, this is Kathleen Wood. And first we want to say that Suzy Swirl is very excited to now be an official member of the Village of Lake Bluff. So we're very much looking forward to that and very excited about this opportunity that we're sharing with Donati's Pizza. We are submitting a proposal today just to put our Suzy Swirl sign onto the building next to the Donati's Pizza sign in accordance to the sign requirements of the building, of the landlord here.
Okay, thank you. Jeff, anything else?
Hey guys, sorry I'm at my son's hockey game, so if my volume's not great, I apologize. We're just excited to keep moving forward with collaborations in the community. Suzy Swirl is going to be a great asset for Lake Bluff. They've always been part of Lake Bluff. We're just moving them from the unincorporated side to the incorporated side. I think the signage kind of fits in with the decor of the mall. The precedent's been set on the size and the area of it. It's going to help really attract families and stuff right off the North Shore Bike Path. So we're excited to have them, and we hope their sign gets passed this evening.
Okay, well, great that you're here. Any questions from any of the members?
I don't have any questions, but just make sure that they patch the holes left by moving the Donati sign to match the existing brick.
Absolutely.
Well, and also, that's a good point, Sheree, that if you look across the way at, who's the phone store that's across the way from you,
Verizon?
Verizon. If you look at them, when they patched the holes there, they did it with caulk, and it looks just awful. So don't let them patch the holes with caulk. There's a proper way to do it, and that's a good.
That's not it, right.
Proper way to do it. I would like
Correct.
to comment on this one that I like the idea, and that when I first looked at the drawing, I thought, well, it looks strange that the letters are different sizes. But then as I looked around the shopping center, they're all different, and it's going to fit right in just fine. So I'm in favor of what you're doing, and welcome to Lake Bluff.
Thank you very much. We're very excited.
I have no comments. I think the application is appropriate, and we do welcome you. So thank you. Hope it
Thank
goes-
you very much. Thank you for all you're doing each and every day to move the village forward, and we are truly excited to be in the village as well.
It's about time.
Good point, Bob. We just had to move across the street. That's all we had to do. So,
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't easy. Anybody else?
Yeah, I don't have any questions. It looks good to me.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve? Or recommend? What are we doing, Mike? Doesn't matter. Do we have a motion to like it?
It is for final approval.
I will move to approve the Suzy Swirl sign as submitted.
I'll second.
Second. Okay, Mike, roll call?
I'm sorry, was that Neil who seconded or
Yes.
someone else? Okay, Neil, yep, okay, great. Okay. Member Callahan,
Aye.
Member Dittmer,
Aye.
Member Dahlman,
Aye.
Member Kerouac,
Aye.
and Chair Hummel.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
thank you all very much.
Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Public hearing to review alterations to the site plan for Prairie Espresso at 79 East Scranton.
I'm going to have to recuse myself for this, so I'm going to switch off my screen and mute my microphone.
Well,
we
okay,
have-
I don't know if we have a quorum then, do
We
we?
do. We still have 4 members, so we still have a,
Okay,
that's what we need.
okay.
Okay.
All right, does anybody have any, was anybody here besides Matt that represents,
Yep,
is John there?
John Davis is here.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay. Present.
Okay, so basically you're moving into the bike shop.
That's correct. 79 East Grand.
Yeah.
And
So-
we're go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, you're closing the little awning, the closet that you're operating out of now?
No, we're just expanding basically. We're making
Oh,
we're going
okay,
to try to
that's
connect the
great.
two eventually. And this gives us an opportunity to, expand our business throughout the season. So come
Great idea.
September, come September, the alley will shut down, and then we'll rotate into the inside space and resume, the fun probably in May every year.
All right. Okay, any questions from anybody? Comments?
I have an interesting comment. I pulled out my history book of Lake Bluff, and on page number 60, it has a picture of the building. And as you notice, there's a concrete lintel above the entry door. And if you keep the light in the right way, I did this today, you can
Post office.
You can read the words above it that say post office.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, this is actually, I believe it's the third post office in Lake Bluff. It was
Okay.
it was moved here somewhere around 1925. And the letters, you can still read the letters up there, but very, very faintly.
Yeah, they are there. They're inside the stone a little bit. The heading there is beautiful.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is, we're trying to keep with that motif. We're keeping the original tin ceiling, and we're going to bring it back to that period, which I believe was 1930, interior wise, to where we're going to have the flock on the wallpaper, and the tin is going to be patinaed, and we're going to kind of give it an old timey feel, which I'm super excited about.
I'm sure it's.
But I guess. Well, one of the things that we ran across when building out the interior spaces, we needed so much back kitchen and so much space to operate that if the door swings into the space, we're eliminating almost a quarter of it. So we're trying to reverse that swing so the door pulls open, which I believe is a safety concern too. So.
Yes.
I like that you're putting a new door on. The building could use some upgrading.
Absolutely.
I wonder, as I gather it, the windows and the frames will all be, if I understand, they'll be painted black.
Yeah, we want to. I'd love to be able to keep up with our branding, which is black. We're transitioning to more of a black and gold. There's a company out of downtown Chicago that does. It's called Chicago's First Neon. They do the gold flake on the windows. That'll be the next time we meet. But the idea is to keep up with the branding and kind of identify ourselves on the street as, Prairie. So we want to do all of the accent black and kind of blend in a little bit.
All the other windows in the building are like a cream color. And I just wonder what the other opinions are of members of the commission as to having some of the windows be black on the building and some of them be cream color.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'd like to point out is that at the west side of the building, where Anavasi is, and JDR Liquors and the other door, those are all dark green. Across the street, we have some black trim. It can always be painted back, I guess,
Anybody else? Thought about the black framing?
I don't have a problem with it.
Who was that?
Shri.
Matt? Tim?
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it either. I think, it's not just a homogeneous facade that we have going all the way across. So, it's not, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it'll be nice. It'll be nice to have them in there.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, I can't, he's recused, never mind. Yeah, I don't have I did have a problem with it initially, but then I think, there's some individuality to it, and John is right. If you go up to Anavasi, even though it's a different building, it's sort of one long streetscape. So I think some individuality is okay here. And certainly next door, the beauty shop is totally different. So I don't have any problem with it. So if nobody has a problem with it, then somebody needs to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that the is this a recommendation or an approval?
And a recommendation.
I'll make a motion that we recommend to the village board that they approve the renovations for Prairie.
I second.
Second? Okay. Michael, roll call?
Okay. Member Dittmer,
Aye.
Member Callahan,
Aye.
Member Dahlman,
Aye.
and Chair Hunter.
Aye.
Okay, and obviously Member Kerouac is recused, so the motion passes 4-0.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with that.
Yep. We'll be back and we'll see you for the sign.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Against it, so I'm glad I recused myself. So that's all. Now we're very
Asking you for an opinion.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I wanted to give it, but I get it now. We're very excited. Thank you for all that. Yeah, it's gonna be a great
Is there going to
addition.
be any inside seating in there?
Yeah, so we'll have 10 seats at a bar that we're doing, like a true bar, and then we'll have a drink rail along the wall that will
That's what it looked like. No tables and chairs.
no tables and chairs. Yeah,
Great.
yeah, it'll be a really fun. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing space for Lake Bluff. We're very excited.
All right, everybody's excited tonight about something.
Yeah, there you go. Why not?
Okay, number 7, consideration of a sign permit application and sign code exemption for 105 Albrecht Drive. Mike, anybody here to represent that?
Yeah, Eric Fisher from Cushman Wakefield is here for us.
I guess. Hello.
Hi.
Hello?
So go ahead and tell us about your proposed sign.
Sure. So 105 Albrecht is the liquid controls building owned by a bigger company, IDEX. They're consolidating out of that facility, moving elsewhere. So we're going to have a vacant industrial building there. We've got the typical signage that will be in front of the building announcing that it's available. But we'd also looking for maybe a different sort of user potentially for the site, potentially some sort of retail use, and trying to attract those people that are maybe going to Target and can see a sign from Target's parking lot. I mean, the industrial market's very good, so the likelihood of it being an industrial deal is high, but we don't want to limit ourselves to just industrial and maybe try and attract some sort of retail type of user.
Now, I understand from the photographs where the one sign is, it faces the parking lot of Target. But I don't get where the other sign is.
Yeah, the other sign will actually be, that'll be in front of the building, closer to the parking lot, the liquid controls parking lot. That's where there'll be a V-shaped sign there, kind of available. We're asking for the approval to put a banner on the building, on that back corner of the building.
Okay. All right. It's pretty extreme compared to what the sign code allows, but I'll let everybody give their opinion. People?
I don't think the sign code allows V-shaped signs either, does it? Because you put a V in it, doubles the size of the sign, and these are already gigantic.
Yeah, Neil, it does. There is a 32 square foot limit, and as you point out, each side of a V-shaped sign would count towards that. But I think that as long as they kept it under the 32 square feet, it would probably be allowable.
Oh, okay. I just assumed that the V-shaped sign that they also wanted it to be 8 by 12.
No,
That was the banner.
What size was that to be?
that's in your code. That works. It's a small, like you said, I think it's 32 feet total. So each side is 16. I don't know the exact size of that, but that's already kind of been approved. This is in addition to.
So if I'm getting this right, it's two banners of, 8
Just
by
one.
12.
Yeah, just one banner, 8 by 12, just one.
So Bob, they're planning a code compliant yard sign for their, for real estate sign number 1. So it's not showing here because it doesn't require approval. So they're only showing the banner, which requires our approval, as an exemption.
Okay.
Okay, if the proportion of the sign is accurate on that photo, it's very offensive to me.
Yeah, I don't know if that's, I don't know. We had the sign company do that. I can't tell you that is to scale. I mean, you do want it to be a certain size to attract the attention of the retail type of user and to show the potential, new buyer and his business what could be available there. But we're not looking to be, anything offensive really.
Yeah, and also the allowable height of the temporary real estate sign is 10 feet above grade, not 10 feet total. I read the code.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like you could move it, you're in the picture that you've got between the sign and where the photographer was standing. There's a pretty large bush there. It seems like you could put a code compliant sign in front of the bush
Yeah, I just don't know if you're going to be able to see it, from the Target parking lot. We're trying to obviously attract those.
Well, but if you stick within code, you can't be more than, as Sheree just pointed out, you can't be more than, the top of it can't be more than 10 feet above the ground.
Okay.
There is another option that I see for you for a third sign. And that's that if you go from the building all the way to the east, you're right on Route 41. And I wonder if there might be any desire to put a for rent sign way out there. You get all.
Yeah, with the 32 square feet, again, it's probably not going to see too much from the distance, but it's an interesting thought.
Because then there's a lot of land to the east of the building. Is that area that could potentially, the building could be expanded at some point if you had the right?
Correct. Now there is part of that area that it's a wetland basin that even extends from where you see that little pond, that even extends further to the north. But yes, you could expand the building, almost double.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have, since it's a temporary sign, I look at it as I'd rather have a big sign and get rid of an empty building than to have an empty building sitting there. I appreciate the challenges of marketing this building. There's not a lot of traffic that's going to get eyes in front of it, directly. And it may be that we give a certain time frame for this just to see what, because it's a tough one, because you're in a unique situation of where you are, how big the building is and all that. So I feel for that. And it's hard to know what the 8 by 12 actually feels like on the building, since we don't know what, right now it's half of the height of the building. And
yeah.
We don't know if that's true or not. And even the perspective for where it's taken kind of cheats it a little bit, I think. And maybe there's a scaled down version from this. This is kind of an aggressive ask, which I appreciate. And like I said, I'd rather have a temporary sign for a little bit that may be a little bit offensive, but you get a tenant in there, which is more valuable to the community than worrying about a temporary sign, I think. Have a tenant, maybe give it a limited kind of approval.
Oh, the code says it has a period of 6 months it can be up there.
Yeah. I mean,
That's right. There is a 6-month time limit for temporary real estate signs in the code.
and it's not, there's no other direct buildings next to it that it's going to impact. It's a very isolated building.
The goal is to find a tenant or a buyer of this that's going to, add some value to Lake Bluff and possibly bring in some retail and some tax dollars for Lake Bluff. Without the sign, I'm not saying we're going to find this retail user with this sign, but it would help show what is possible from an exposure sort of, exposure wise. If you don't show that, then it's hard to visualize for some of these people. Again, it's likely that it's going to be an industrial user, but with that industrial user with some sort of retail play is what we're hoping for.
If you do retail there, does it require rezoning?
You would have to, yes.
Well, that was way back, looking at the study we did 4 or 5 years ago of that whole area. So that wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I just have a problem with the size of it, period.
Okay.
You could see
Well,
that from
Could
Go
we
ahead.
keep the proportion of the sign and have a 10-foot sign, and that would give you a 6-foot 8-inch tall sign, 10 by 6, 8. So keep the same proportion, but make it just the length, maximum length you can make it.
So the sign is 10 foot by 6 foot, 8 inches.
Yes, that would give you the exact same proportion as the current proposed sign.
Sheree, does that make it code compliant?
No, it doesn't
No.
make it code compliant, but it's the maximum length you can make it. But
You can
it's
see
kind
it
of like a
from
compromise.
long way away. It's
Yeah, I
really
mean,
big.
I think we are fine with we're fine with any sort of dimensions at a certain size. Like if it's too small, it really doesn't make sense. And it becomes like one of those things where we're going to spend X number of dollars and it's not going to be worth it. So, maybe we just, but I don't think we're this 96 inch by 144 inch, that could be altered. And we could look at something else that you guys recommend.
Well, it'd be nice if the sign company could do a photo rendering with the actual, proportional being right, so we could get a better idea of it.
Okay.
Then it would be also nice as long as if it had some relationship to the building. Right now, it's hard to tell what's going on, other than the big white thing there. But the other thing we need to think about is every time a building comes up for lease anywhere in that park, once you open the can of worms, there you go. So.
Yeah.
I know.
Again, this one kind of is different just because of that. When you're driving into the target development, you guys probably don't notice, but the next time you drive in there, and we all drive in there 3 times a day, you'll see that building. You stare at that building, so you can.
Unfortunately, you see the back of the working end of it.
Yeah. Just trying to capture that audience for that possible retail guy.
That's provided somebody's willing to come out and go into competition with Amazon.
What do you think, people?
I'd like to see a revised drawing like you talked about.
Yeah, I would definitely go to see what the true relationship of sign to building is. Like I said, I do agree that maybe a little bit larger than what we would allow, of course, makes sense here.
Yeah, agreed.
Nothing worse than a sitting empty building
Right.
for everybody.
Yeah, I agree too. The sign just seems really big.
Whether or not that's accurate is the problem.
Yeah.
However, I've dealt with a lot of realtors in my life, and I've never seen a realtor that didn't want a bigger sign. So,
I don't need a bigger sign. I just want a sign big enough to kind of make its mark, you know, to do what it's supposed to do. Some of those signs, sometimes you see these signs and not that, listen, I get it. The signs are ugly. I'm not saying you'd rather have a business in there than a for rent or available sign. So I live in Lake Bluff. I don't want a big red sign there forever. I get it.
So what do you want to do, people?
do you have a sign company? That you
Yeah. Vital Signs is the sign company.
Is it convenient to have them?
Yeah, we can have them make changes and get it to you. We have to wait for. Is there a way that we can get this done in like the next week or two versus waiting another month or so?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Can we?
Yeah, we could have a special meeting, or we could give.
Mike, when does the board meet next that we'd recommend this to?
Well, they have two meetings in May, the 10th and I think the 24th.
Yeah. Would we be able to get some, when would we have to have approval to them to get on the 10th?
Tomorrow morning. So I don't think we can make the 10th, but we could make the next one, the 24th.
Okay.
So I mean, any time like next week or early the following week would be early enough for the 24th.
Okay.
So we could do a special meeting and review this.
Yeah, we could do that. And I'm just looking at a picture of the building. And there's the window band. I'd like to, I wonder how deep it is from the roof cap to the top of the window band. That's probably only about 5 feet. Which would not be, that would be not anywhere near the 8 feet that you're after. It would still be a big sign, but.
Yeah.
And, do you have to have, for this, I'm wondering if we could, maybe eliminate maybe some of the, like just have like available and the phone number, just so you're not compressing
Yeah.
the two main things. I know that's your job, but like, I would maybe take away the names and just give like your Cushman & Wakefield available and maybe the phone number so that you get that information as large as possible on a smaller sign. Might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
You can see the names from afar, but.
If you're trying to market this as a potential retail space, is there some place, I mean, it would have to be rezoned, but you could say potential, to get somebody's, they may not think of that when they see that building. You thought of it, but they may not.
Yeah, I mean, I think the goal is you see the sign, you say, hey, there's some exposure to a broader audience from this location. I know that there was a brewery looking a while back. You can almost imagine some sort of use like that. And I guess that's kind of their business to see the sign and associate, that with more retail. That's just the goal is to trigger that thought.
So it's just going to help it along a little bit.
Yeah.
But then that's more information on the sign instead of less, from Matt's point of view.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll get you some options, maybe a couple different ideas or thoughts, and get it back to you for your thoughts.
that'd be great.
Okay.
So ABR members, is 2 weeks from today, May 18th, good for people for a special meeting?
I'm looking.
I'm good.
Sounds
Be okay
good.
with me?
Yeah,
It might be a little
I'm
hard for
available.
me.
that might be hard for you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm moving that day.
Oh,
Oh,
Not out of Lake Bluff, are you?
No, just a little
Yeah.
ways down the road.
okay.
It's okay for me.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, then
So we
We
potentially have
we
4 or
gotta get
5.
Julie on board then.
Yeah, right. Or, yeah, right, so it may still work, okay. So anyway, Eric, if you are able to get me revised drawings by the 12th, I think we can schedule it for the 18th or a date near there, and we could make the second board meeting in May.
Okay.
We'll shoot for that.
Okay.
Okay. So we don't need to vote on that.
Right.
Mike, you have anything?
Nope, I don't have anything else.
So then next month, we will start off with the new village board.
That's right, yep, the first meeting of May, they'll swear in the new board members. So coming up Monday, the May 10th, they'll do that.
So we are supposed to show up?
I think they are showing up they did discuss that. I think they are showing up in person to swear the new board members in, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think they might be though.
Well, let us know what we're supposed to do, if anything.
Okay.
And I don't think we have to do anything. We haven't in the
No,
past.
for ABR members? No, I don't think we have to do anything to swear.
Oh, you're talking about the village board members, yeah.
Yeah, okay, village board members, yeah. Okay, yep, no, nothing we need to do.
Okay, then I guess we're done.
Okay.
All right.
All right, somebody make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And that's second.
Okay, all approved, say aye.
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 All right, we're done.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Very efficient.
Thanks.
Hi.
Good night.
Take
Good night.
Yep.
Hi, John.